Hi, Professor Gerald Friedman, here to talk about long-run competition. You can do some things with very little preparation. You can, for example, dig a hole in the ground using just the ground and a shovel. You can walk dogs using just leashes and a pair of shoes. Sometimes the dogs will walk themselves if you're really lucky. Now that would be cool. Now, when you have something that takes very little preparation, you can do it where the marginal cost, the cost of one more unit of output, is pretty much the total cost. Now, take, for example, walking dogs. Let's say you need a $2 leash to get started, and after that it's just whatever it costs for wear and tear on your shoes for an additional dog, or another leash for an additional dog. Maybe you need a little extra as you keep getting additional dogs, so the marginal cost might be upward sloping. But what it amounts to is the marginal cost, this line over here, the blue line, the marginal cost is most of the total cost. So the average total cost starts out higher because you have to lay out that extra $2 for starters. But after that, it's just you're adding the marginal cost, and the average total cost comes pretty close to the marginal cost. If you price at your marginal cost, then you're really going to be covering most of your costs. Other things are different. They take lots and lots of stuff to get going before you can even make anything. For example, Pixar movies. You got to do a lot of work before you put out the first frame. Oil refineries in New Jersey. You ever drive by on the turnpike by those refineries on, south of Newark? Ew, P.U., they smell awful. Roll up the windows and drive fast. Intel chips. It costs like $2 billion to set up the facilities for the first chip. Cars. Atomic power plants. Steel mills. All these, you got to build a lot of stuff before you make anything. In these cases, your average total costs, this line here, which is the setup costs plus all the whatever costs you incur in making things. The average total cost is really high before you get to actually make anything. And there is your marginal cost. It's very little, not very important at all. Now think about it here. You price along your marginal cost curve. If you don't pay attention to your fixed costs, all the things that make your average total cost line really way above the marginal cost. If you just pay attention to your marginal cost, you are going to be losing a lot of money. And your employers, your shareholders, they're going to be pissed because you're going to be price along the marginal cost curve. Go broke. All this loss. If you price here and your total costs are here, you are losing money. Bad. Maybe this is why there's so few companies making these types of products, because they cannot survive in a competitive environment. You can't have airlines being made, Disney animation, Pixar, cars, computer chips. You can't make these things and price along your marginal cost curve. Therefore, you cannot make these things in a competitive environment. Therefore, they need monopoly. And that's all for now. Thank you. Bye.